I had a question, but I'll wait till the
I'll
motion.
move approval.
Okay.
I'll move approval. so
Ms.
we can get
Fugit will move for approval.
Second.
Ms. Carson will second. Now we have the motion. Now, do you have a question, Ms. Roundtree, now that we have a motion on the floor?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would just like to, perhaps Dr. McIntyre can speak to this. Has the revised agreement been sent to the Broad Foundation?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Roundtree, I did send a revised copy that was on the board's agenda last month to the Broad Foundation, but since that time, the Law Director's Office has taken the process and I think made some additional edits, so I'll defer to the Law Director on that question.
Law Director.
The contract that has been approved as the legal form is attached. We do not negotiate on behalf of the board. I would, no, we don't negotiate with the borough. I have not sent it anywhere except over to the superintendent and the board. At that time, you all will negotiate with your vendor and or grantor. So, and then after at that point, once it is executed, then we'll go through the normal process. But we just approve things as to form. And that's as far as we'll take it unless you all specifically direct us to do something different.
Ms. Carson.
She wasn't finished.
Oh, yeah, I had another question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I just want to make sure that I'm clear on understanding. I think Ms. Bounds asked a similar question on Monday night. Just in this case, if the contract is sent and not, there's not approval, what happens with the money part of that? Would we have to refund the money? Maybe the Law Director can answer that.
Okay.
Law Director.
I believe we dealt with part of this, I think, at the workshop. This would be a discussion that would have to take place with the granting agency toward the board, as to what would be required, what they would accept, what they wouldn't accept. Based upon that, would be the result of, that would have to come back before this body. If the grant is not accepted, then the money, as far as the grant could or may be required to be returned. The other issues, this is kind of how do you say this, a grant that's already been performed. So I don't see that there would be any danger or harm in terms of the grantor denying the grant. The only question is whether this board wants to receive the grant or not. At this point, it is a matching grant that would have to go across to county commission, the legislative body. I have no feedback on that at all. Usually they generally approve your all's grants, even if they're matching. So we just have to negotiate with that and look to see what the grant really was, what the real implications are, and then we would have to come with a recommendation to the board as to how we can cure the situation we find ourselves in. But we're not there yet, so I'm not anxing over it too bad. Okay.
Thank you. I guess just before this board votes on this matter, I think I've made my thoughts on the Broad Academy fairly clear. I just want to urge my fellow board members to proceed with caution and approving any agreement in an ex facto manner. I know the superintendent has stated on several occasions that he believes that he acted in a good faith effort, and a good faith effort is defined as one that is a state of mind consisting in honesty and belief or purpose, faithfulness to one's duty or obligation, and the definition continues in Black's Law Dictionary. I personally am having a little bit of hard time taking that statement at its face value, simply because policy DM was drafted when the superintendent was the superintendent of Knox County Schools. He also followed policy DM when the Gates grant had to go before county commission, and the process was followed correctly then. So I just have some grave concerns about doing my fiduciary duty and approving an agreement in an ex facto manner. And I would just like to reiterate that Tennessee Code states that the superintendent's first duty and the most important duty is to act for the board in seeing that the laws relating to the schools and rules of the state and the local Board of Education are faithfully executed. Thank you.
Ms. Carson?
Thank you. I'll just move forward. I would just want to make sure that the minutes reflect if this policy, if this grant is approved, that the board is taking an action to revise policy DM so that it is in full compliance with the law, and that the board is directing the superintendent and his staff to follow this policy related to grants without exception. Thank you.
We have a motion on the floor, motion and a second. We'll do a roll call on this, starting in 9th District, please.
Ms. Roundtree?
No.
Ms. Bounds?
No.
Ms. Hill?
No.
Ms. Carson?
Yes.
Fugit?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Ms. Sanger?
Yes.
Ms. Dethridge?
Yes.
Mr. McMillan?
No.
That's 5 yes and 4 no votes.
Motion carries. Next item.